Medfit Rehab founder Joanne James is a medical exercise specialist. Medfit Rehab, restoring strength and movement, making a difference in people's lives. 647-259-5481. Columbus Center, Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, medfitrehab.com. Is staying healthy becoming too expensive with personal trainers, gym memberships, massages, and supplements? Then Joanne James, medical exercise specialist, and her dedicated team have exciting news for you. Imagine a healthcare plan that saves you money on personal and group training and gives you premium access to medical professionals. That's what Medfit Rehab can offer you. In the Columbus Center, Dufferin and Lawrence, call today to learn more. 647-259-5481, medfitrehab.com. Hi, Michelle. How are you this Friday morning? Nice to have you back.
Thanks, Zelda. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Okay. How neighborhood revitalization motivates exercise. What does that actually mean? The way where you live makes a difference in how you are motivated to exercise? Is that what you mean?
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
Well, as we know, unfortunately, not all neighborhoods are created or developed equally.
Okay.
So every community has an appearance and an attitude that influences the residents and others about what it's like to live there. So from a physical activity perspective, you'd like to see things like walking and biking paths, green space, good lighting, playgrounds for kids, et cetera, et cetera. Sort of the whole idea of build it and they will come, right? But if you're in a neighborhood where, for example, say you need a car to get around because things aren't linked up properly, well, walking around is not an option, but it's going to be undesirable. So the reason we're talking about this today is because, you know, one of our mandates at Medfit is to make exercise as accessible to everybody as possible. And while we're not able to transform infrastructure, at least at this point, we do try to inject different neighborhoods with what they need in terms of their health and fitness needs. And I think it's very important that we as consumers, as neighborhood advocates, tax-paying citizens, that whenever possible, we advocate for healthy communities. And take a note from Europe. I mean, goodness, their urban planning has focused long on creating living and meeting spaces. Again, we've talked about it before on this show about the message of health promotion. Your listeners and people that I meet, that you meet, I'm sure, everybody wants to live a healthy life, an active life, but there always are certain barriers, perceived or otherwise. And I just think that the more that we can sort of rally together, and even if you don't have to have the fanciest of neighborhoods, but if you can get together with people and perhaps start a walking group where you walk together or something like that, I think there's so many ideas that we could help bring into communities that overall it could be a win-win for everybody.
Okay, well, you know, some neighborhoods may not have the means to afford the bike lanes or whatever is necessary, or a gym, but they certainly would have other methods, a park, streets, gathering together. So there's really no excuse for not exercising if it's at all possible.
That's right. And of course, like you said, not everyone has the means, and it doesn't have to be really fancy stuff. I mean, we know over the years along the lakefront, I mean, there's been all sorts of, they've got the trails there. At one point, there were stations, exercise stations, where you can go and do certain exercises and stuff like that. I mean, again, wherever there's a need for money to fund this vision, there's always going to be some resistance or some downright acceptance of it can't happen. But I think, again, it's time that people realize that, we have more control than we like. And even if it means just putting that idea forward, I mean, let's face it, you can't go anywhere in this city right now without running into construction, right? I mean, there's no lack of developing and things like that going on. I guess it's just where we have the opportunity, it's a good thing to be able to ask if we have some influence as to how those developments are going to happen, because everybody wants to get out and be active. If you go down to the lake, the boardwalk, or anywhere like that, people enjoy that, and That's what we want. That's what we will ultimately want for everyone. We want everyone to feel comfortable enough to go out and just be active. And, of course, we do all the other fancier stuff in terms of the customization. But I think today's topic is a little bit more broad, but it's also specific to different neighborhoods, because every neighborhood needs their own special thing to make it desirable and something that would work for everybody.
Well, I think that that's the reason why Medfit is so is the right thing to do, because you can set up this kind of exercise program for small groups or for larger groups, and you can give them an opportunity to know where to exercise, how to exercise, and if you have medical problems, that would be an answer to those problems as well.
That's right. Yeah, and I mean, on some level, I guess we're considered small scale. I mean, we can't, like I said, we can't influence the whole infrastructure right now. But little by little, when we go into different communities and we see what they need and we offer them what they need and it's helpful, that momentum has a certain power of its own. And it's not just Medfit, of course. There are other places that are doing that. And I think that, the more we work together, the more we can actually affect overall health, which would be a blessing for everyone.
Well, I think that when the summer's here, it's easy to
True.
run and to do the kinds of things outdoors. But once it gets colder, you're gonna have to find a place to go inside and do this collective kind of exercise, keep yourself fit.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, most areas have a city-run community center or some type of building where, things can happen, because unfortunately, I've been to many community centers within the city that are not being used as well as they could be. I don't know the reasons for that, but I just think there's so much time during the day. Maybe it's a great opportunity for us to investigate, what resources are already available that perhaps are just not being utilized in a good way. Because like you said, let's face it, here in Ontario and Canada, you're not going to be going out on the boardwalk or doing anything soon out in the winter time, but you sure as heck might enjoy going to visit some newfound friends or people in your community that you can get together and, just move your bodies, put on some music, dance, whatever. It should be that easy, but again, that's what we're trying to do at Medfit as well, is just help people and they can help us, and it's a unified effort to find out how we can propel everyone to be as healthy as they can.
Thank you very much, Michelle. We had extra time today, so we gave it to you, and we hope that you enjoyed being with us, and we'll talk to you again Sunday and next week as well. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Zelda. You too.
Bye. Joanne James, founder and medical exercise specialist of Medfit Rehab, will improve your overall health through medical exercise. Contact Joanne James, 647-259-5481, Columbus Center Athletic Department, Dufferin and Lawrence, medfitrehab.com.